Yo, what's up, Sagittarius? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of June 2018. Sagittarius, a lot of important astrology happening once again this month. We've got a new moon, which will occur mid-month. And then we've got Neptune, which is going to go retrograde. And then Mars is going to go retrograde. But the sun is going to be in the area for you, Sagittarius, throughout the month of June 2018. It has to do with the importance of relationship in your life. So, if you're single, then this is a great time for you to enter into a one-on-one relationship if that's what you want, Sagittarius. And you could really make it happen because, you are a natural extrovert. Now, for those of you who are coupled up already, there's just going to be more of a focus on you and your significant other and the relationship that you have with each other throughout the month of June 2018. The sun is going to shift on June 21st, and then the focus is going to be more about what you share with another person. So a shared resource situation or a joint financial venture, or following June 21st, potentially this might have to do, for a select few of you, it might have to do with a contract potentially, or a negotiation, or a business deal. So it's going to resonate differently for all of you, but those are the main themes for you, Sagittarius, for the month of June 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat on June 1st, Venus will aspect Jupiter, which is retrograding. And I'm not saying that all Sagittarians are connecting with someone who they're attracted to in secret, or it's kind of like a behind the scenes connection, but this aspect between Venus and Jupiter would imply that some of you really are. So if you are connecting with somebody behind the scenes or in secret and it's a romantic connection, or for this one, it's more, this one is even because where Venus is, it's like it's a mix of, because Venus is more about romantic love, but on June 1st, it's in this area that's more like erotic for you. So, potentially there's a mix there. The type of attraction you have for this person who's maybe secret in your life, or it's kind of a behind the scenes connection, it's aspecting to your ruler Jupiter. So, potentially this is a big attraction that you have for somebody potentially. Now, for others of you, this could be the indication. If that's not the case, obviously not all Sagittarians have secret attractions in their life, but if that's not the case, then for others of you, you might be able to make some progress behind the scenes with potentially has to do with a business partnership, or maybe it has to do with a negotiation of some sort, or it might be a contract, or some sort of investment potentially. So you have to see how that resonates for you right around June 1st. On June 6th, Mercury will aspect Neptune, and this is like, especially for those of you who are coupled up, this is like some of you really are creating an illusion in your home life, because potentially you have your mind on someone else that you want to be with, potentially, like, and that, I'm not saying that you don't, if this is the case for you, I'm not saying that you don't love the person that you're with already who lives under the same roof as you, but, on June 6th, you really might be in two minds about who you want to be with. It's like, oh, I like this person, but I'm with this person. So it's going to resonate differently for all of you. On June 8th, Mars will aspect Saturn, and this has to do with, it has to do communicating about money. So some of you are very focused on your money. And Saturn's the place where Saturn is makes money a little bit difficult for you. Saturn is restriction. Saturn's sort of like that immovable object, and it's going to be in your sector of money until December 2020. So it's quite some time, but Saturn's not really trying to just give you a hard time where it goes. I mean, June 8th, it's like, yeah, you're trying to communicate something about money potentially. Maybe you feel a little bit stuck or restricted, but overall, this transit Saturn in your area of money, this is really gonna, it's going through a restructuring process, the way you earn your money. And for some of you, this is really putting you on firmer footing regarding the way you make your money. But, Saturn would suggest this is a gradual process, Sagittarius. It's not going to happen overnight, but, by the time Saturn's ready to shift out of your sector of money in December 2020, you may be in more of a positive situation when it comes to your income. On June 13th, there's a new moon. This one has to do with relationship in your life, Sagittarius. So, what are the next steps regarding relationship? If you're single, like I said, you have an extroverted personality. Make it happen, Sagittarius. I'm not saying that the way new moon works is it's going to hit on June 13th, 6 months to follow June 13th. I'm not saying that someone's going to enter into your life or relationship for the 6 months that follow June 13th, but there's a greater possibility with this new moon hitting in this part of the sky. And, like I said, you can make it happen, Sagittarius. And for those of you who are coupled up already, this could be the next steps of your relationship. So, what are you? You're with somebody, but you're not engaged. Maybe the 6 months that follow the new moon that hits on June 13th, this might be a good time for you to get engaged. Or, maybe for others of you, this means that there's going to be new stuff coming down the pike for your marriage. So, like if you're already married, then there's just going to be new stuff coming down the pike for your marriage. If you're engaged already, maybe this is a good time to get married in the 6 months that follow June 13th. On June 16th, Uranus will aspect Neptune. And I'm not saying that all of you work from home, but maybe some of you might be working from home on June 16th. Maybe you're working behind the scenes a little bit, and it's probably not going to go as well as you wanted to. I mean, the aspect is a little bit tougher on June 16th between Uranus and Neptune. So, some of you might be trying to utilize technology of some sort, and mixing that in with your work. You're working behind the scenes June 16th. Maybe it's just not connecting the way you want it to. Now, obviously, that's a pretty specific situation, and obviously not all Sagittarians are going through with that, but for others of you, this is like a work-life balance problem. This is like you're at work too much. So maybe your home life is being neglected. So you got to get the balance right, Sagittarius. If that's the case for you, on June 18th, Neptune will begin to retrograde. It's going to retrograde until November 24th. I mean, this is R for retrograde, R for review. It's where the planet looks like it's going backwards. It's not really going backwards, but it looks like it is. What does that mean astrologically? I mean, if you are happy in your home life, then this is the time to work out the kinks. This is R for retrograde, R for make the revisions. The happiest couples still have, their things that they can iron out. So this is the time to do it. Now, for others of you, you might be seeing family that's coming in between June 18th and November 24th. Potentially you haven't seen this family in quite some time. So, some of you connecting with family that you haven't seen in a while. Now, for others of you, this is like revising what you want to do regarding your home life. These are very specific examples. Obviously, not all of them are going to resonate for every Sagittarian. Every Sagittarian is different, but what's the situation with your home life, Sagittarius? Do you like where you live? R for retrograde, R for revise, R for review. You're reviewing. Are you really satisfied with this home life situation? Are you satisfied with where you live? Do you want to maybe live somewhere else? Okay, you're happy with where you are. What's happening in your home? Are you happy with that? This is a great time for just reviewing and getting it right when it comes to your home and family situation. But while Neptune's retrograding June 18th, November 24th, June 21st, Venus will oppose Mars. So Venus this end of the sky, and then you have Mars this end of the sky, and they're facing off. It's an exact opposition. So, potentially some of you communicating about spiritual subjects, or if you're not communicating about a spiritual subject, maybe you're on the receiving end of the information. Potentially some of you are trying to learn. Where Mars is, it has to do with either learning or it has to do with teaching. So, one or the other on June 21st. So you're either on the education, like you're the one that's receiving the information that's spiritual on June 21st, or you're on the teaching end of it. So, depends on what your unique scenario is in your life, Sagittarius. But some of you might be some of you might have an attraction for someone who's more of a spiritual figure. Some of you might have something going on that has to do with a faraway place, or potentially someone who's from a cultural background that's different from yours, or somebody whose heritage just stands out to you. So that's a very specific scenario. Obviously, that's not going to resonate for all of you like that. And on June 26th, Mars is retrograding, will begin to retrograde on June 26th. And then it's going to retrograde so much that on August 12th, it's going to move backwards into your sector of money. And then on August 27th, it'll begin to move forward again in your sector of income. And then, by September 10th, it's going to shift into your sector of communication for the second time. And this is really about, Mars could just go on if it wants to go forward and forward. But the universe is saying, hey, Mars is going to go retrograde because there's something, potentially more focus that needs to be put on. Maybe there's something that you want to talk about that has to do with your money potentially. I know some of you are really focused on your money, and a lot of this has to do with the influence of Pluto being in your sector of money too. So, Pluto is very concentrated energy. So some of you really might be concentrating on something that has to do with your money or your income potentially. So I think this Mars retrograde cycle that starts on June 26th and eventually will end on September 10th. Like, this is really about you want to say what you have to say that has to do with your money. So this is your opportunity to do it. On June 28th, there's going to be a full moon in your sector of money and income in the area of where you earn your money. It's going to resonate differently for all of you. So, for some of you, this could bring a development of some sort in the area of where you earn your money. Now, if that's not the case, then potentially maybe it has to do with, some of you might get a payout of some sort. And I don't want to get your hopes up, because guess what? The exact opposite could happen too. So following June 28th, this could I've seen this happen both ways to many people. It's either like they get money, or potentially some of you might receive some sort of expense of some sort. I hope that you're on the receiving end of getting money, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Furlan Astrology, so make sure to follow me there. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.